Hey yo, I'm making a grow like thing. I made a engine called growengine a couple years back, and I want to touch back up on that while also working on my skills for my current game Bread Worlds. So on the agenda we have a data message handler and a client manager. So this is mostly server side stuff. But yeah, let's get started. Trying to remember where the hell I left off. We don't need this game loop for now. This was just like proof of concept type thing. I think we just need to work on our message handler in the client class. Player instance, I don't think we need. That might throw something off. Yeah, it throws that off in there. So we don't need the player instance. And we do not need a step. And we do not need this. This is all going to get replaced with the message handler. So we need a clients each need a state. So state is of type socket or client state, and this dot state defaults to, we'll say client state dot connected. So we need to create a new folder. We'll call it types. New file, client states dot ts, export enum client state, and connected will be the first value. Connected online for logged in. So connected is established connection, signed in. I think that's all we need for the meantime. We're not doing login and register stuff right now. So now we need to work on our message handler. So let's plan this out in our heads. Message handler, we need to key details. Needs to be separate files for cleanliness. and needs to be auto-loaded so we don't have to worry about any sorts of issues with forgetting to import. And I think this should be really the most important things. So we need to create a new folder for messages. And we'll just say test.ts module.exports equals and then that will take in a C of type client and data, and we'll just say of type any. And now we need some sort of message handler or some sort of message importer. And how can we do that? I think there's a required dir library which can require in a whole directory. But that may not work for our case. We'll see if we can figure this out. I do believe we just need to, on our message event, we need to create a file for module importer or message module importer .ts, and we'll just say export our const modules or messages rather We'll say message modules. And then let's npm I require dir. And then we need to import require dir from taking to Google. Okay, there we go. Now we need the directory, which is going to be and then export message modules. Declaration or statement expected. Always problems, man. Okay, now we need to import fuck it. We'll just say message modules so it auto imports and then console.log, or rather, when a client connects, we will say console.log message modules. Let's see what that does. Okay, yeah, looks like that works. So now if I just duplicate this and rename this to move, and then close, restart, we should see when we connect another client, we have move and test. Good. So now we need to, over here, if message modules data dot then we can actually run the function and pass in the client, which is this, and the data. I'm going to get rid of this. Should I get rid of this? I think for simplicity's sake, we're going to get rid of it. And that should be our server side. What up, Melon Baller? Bro balls melons. My #1 fan. The only person watching this right now. So I don't want to send that shit. That should work. I have a client state system, so in the future, you can track where the client is post connection. I like the black people emojis. This is actually something we need to put in bread worlds. It would make it so much easier to track certain things. Like, don't send certain messages to somebody if they're not in a world. I think that's actually it. So the client, the server, if we have connected, then send test message. And I believe in test.ts we just get received. No such message, 0. That I know why. We need to be sending strings. I changed that. Fucking, oh my god. I need a keyboard with arrow keys and with a numpad. There we go. Receive test. Well, that was super simple. I thought that was going to take way longer. Literally, that was it. Now I guess we just got to do the same thing on the client side, which I don't want to do. I guess we'll change this from enum messages to sc messages. Remove the enumerator. And we need to create a function for import messages. And this needs to loop I think that's it. Frankly, we might not even need to loop. I think you can just do asset underscore get index. Get message by name. And I think that we can just do return asset get index name var ass equals asset get index by name. And I think this returns -1 if it's not found. If the asset is not found, the function will return a value of -1. Otherwise, it will return the handle for the asset being checked. Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. So we'll just say if s equals -1. Ugh. Return. Otherwise, we return s. What did I say on the server? I said message modules, data message, blah, 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 blah. So we need to instead say, var handle equals get message by name, data dot message, if handle I think I did this wrong. I think I just made it say return, but we want to return a value. We'll just say false. This will either return, you know what, if this returns -1 anyway, then we might as well just make it return s. If handle, then handle data. And it doesn't like that, because I think we need to do script execute handle, and then the argument is data. But it doesn't like that either. So I think we need to just test it. There's no console.log. Show message, async, boobies. Sometimes it throws an error, but I don't think there actually is one, but we'll do this just to make sure. So now our server needs to, when a client connects, this dot send message test data, we'll just send blank data. Yeah, it works. It just doesn't like that it works. Because this returns just a regular asset type, and this is expecting a asset.gm script type. Else we need to so now just to test that, we'll just throw another letter on there. Now it should show up in the console handler not found. And then here we will do a try catch. Error trying to parse request. But good, that should work in theory. So now let's clean up our, so we need a group for our source. And then we need a group in there for our handlers. And then we need a group in there for our utilities. And then this is also a utility. Then we need a group for objects. We need a group for assets. And then lastly, a group for rooms. So now we can close everything up, clean it up. What was I doing? I was just cleaning everything up. Okay. So we can check those off my list. We have, that's done, that's done. So now we need to work on the client manager, which technically, technically I have that done. In the form of this is a client manager. I suppose another thing I can go ahead and do is some UI. I also need a connection sequence. but we'll worry about that. So this is going to be the game room, or we'll make this the connection room since the network object's already in there. Go ahead and make that persistent so it stays. Create a room for the lobby. In this lobby room, we need to create some UI. Fill with a gradient. We'll fill this. No, we'll fill with a gradient. Rotate it 90 degrees. Have the base color for a button be like bluish. No, I like a good yellow and red button. Let's make this button just like absolutely hideous. No, I'm kidding. Stroke. Make it white. So this is the base for our button. I like it. We'll create an object. We'll create a group first for UI elements. Um, label is draw. Mm, we'll see what we can do about that. For now, I want to create a sequence. I haven't done much with this, but I want to experiment with it. I think there's a way to put text onto the button. Font. I like that one, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. What the hell did I do? Oh, I need to add a scale? Oh, add a parameter scale. Why am I struggling with this so bad? What the fuck did I do? I just don't want this scale. I think if I do this, then what it does is it changes it. So if I do 100, that yeah. Which is not what I want. I literally just want the position. Which the position of it's fine. And the scale of it's fine. But for some reason, once I put that there, it destroys it. I'm not too sure what the hell to do about that. Why do I keep clicking that button? Maybe if I group them together. Can I scale the group? I can rotate the group. Can I scale the group? Okay, goody. Now can I view the curve? Now can I make this curve into a Bezier? And I want it to be a bounce back. And I want this to be bounce back. Why are the X and the Y different? What the fuck? Oh, well, I know why. There we go. I like it. Now we just need our text to say play online. I almost feel like we should add, I was going to say an alpha track, but I don't think that is a thing. So that'll have to work. And then in our lobby room, we'll add a asset layer in our sequence. Coolio. Okay. Well, that should work, but oh yeah, that's right. We have to actually gesture tap callback. And this callback track, in theory, so if I just make it say room go to rm underscore connection, then when we click it, it will take us to the connection room. Bam. And we got the test event, and we're connected. This needs to be the other way around. I'll just put a knot in front of it. So we're connected. If I want to delay that, then we can put it in an alarm. 0 equals 100. And then in our alarm 0. This will show us connected. Now I want to create some sort of visual feedback in the form of like a chat box. Wait. All right. Well, that's it for me.